Hi class, this is Mr. C. I'll be doing the read aloud for our Chapter 1, Section 1, Crossing the Americas. Before we move forward, I want to show you guys when you open up your PDF document, if you could zoom in so that you could follow along and see the letters better. If you're using a desktop or a laptop, you just gotta go to the right and then click on zoom in, or click in, or go up here and where it says zoom, click on the plus sign to zoom in, alright? So I'm going to zoom in right here. And before we move on with our first reading, I want to talk about the terms and names that we're going to be seeing in this section, okay? There's quite a few of them, so please read carefully and follow closely. So we have the first one, archaeologist, which is a scientist who studies the past by studying artifacts. Next term, we have artifact, which is a tool or other object that humans made. Then we have the word migrate, which means to move. Then we have culture, which is a way of life shared by a group of people. Then we have domestication, which is the breeding of plants or taming animals to meet human needs. Then we have civilization and its qualities, which is a complex culture that has one, cities, two, specialized jobs, three, organized government and religion, four, a system of record keeping, five, advanced tools. Next is irrigation, the practice of bringing water to crops. Then we have mound builder, the early Native American who built large earthen structures. Before you read, in this section you will read how ancient peoples came to the Americas and as time passed developed complex civilizations. Alright, we're going to have the first people in America. What are two theories explaining how the first Americans migrated from Asia? Scientists think that the first Americans migrated or moved to the Americas from Asia. There are two theories about how and when this move took place. One theory is that ancient people crossed the land bridge joining Asia and North America. They came during the last ice age some 12,000 years ago. The extreme cold of the ice age created glaciers. This made the water levels in the oceans drop. Beringia, a bridge of land, appeared where the Bering Strait is now. After the ice age, the glaciers melted. The melted water flooded Beringia. Another theory is that humans came to the Americas by many routes. They migrated over thousands of years. Some people came by boat. They sailed from island to island. Archaeologists who believe this theory point to artifacts or human-made objects found in I'm sorry, found in South America to show the artifacts to be 30,000 years old. Number 1. Name two ways the first Americans may have migrated to the Americas from Asia. Next part. Agriculture leads to civilization. What are five features of a civilization? A culture is a way of life shared by a group of people with similar art, beliefs, and customs. The first Americans lived in hunting and gathering cultures. They hunted animals and gathered seeds and berries. People started to plant the seeds they found. This was the beginning of agriculture. About 5,000 years ago, humans began domestication. They bred plants and tamed animals. Agriculture spread across the Americas. It created a stable food supply. This changed people's lives. They didn't have to travel to find food. They built lasting villages. Large harvests meant fewer people had to farm. Some people practiced craft, some became religious leaders. In time, some cultures became civilization. A civilization has five features. It has cities that are trade centers. Its people have specialized jobs. It has organized government and religion. It uses a system of record keeping. It uses advanced tools. Question 2. Name the five features of a civilization. Early Mesoamerican civilization. What were two advanced civilizations in early Mesoamerica? About 1200 BC, a great civilization rose in Mesoamerica. This region stretches from central Mexico to Nicaragua. A people called the Olmec lived there. They set up many trade routes. They built pyramids of earth and large cities. Olmec culture spread along trade routes. It influenced other cultures. By AD 250, the Maya had a great civilization, but they had cities in southern Mexico and Guatemala. They built pyramid mounds. Temples stood on top of the mounds. The Maya kept accurate calendars. They created a number system using zero. They had a written language. Question 3. What were the advances of the Olmec and the Maya? Next section. The Hohokam and the Anasazi. Why were the Hohokam able to farm in the dry environment? The Hohokam lived in what is now Arizona. They lived from about 300 BC to AD 1400. The Hohokam changed their environment. They dug hundreds of miles of canals to carry river water to their crops. This is called irrigation. The Anasazi lived in an area where Utah, Arizona, Colorado, and New Mexico meet. They moved there about AD 100. They were farmers and traders. Their houses had hundreds of rooms and many stories. How did the Hohokam alter their dry environment? The Mound Builders. Who were the Mound Builders? The Mound Builders lived in the eastern part of what is now the United States. The Mound Builders were early Native Americans who built large earthen mounds. There were several groups of mound builders. The Adena and the Hopewell were the two oldest mound builder societies. Little is known about the Adena. The Hopewell were located in what is now the Midwest. They lived from 400 BC to AD 400. They grew corn and they had a large trade network. Hopewell mounds serve as burial sites. Their tombs contained gifts for the dead. The last group of mound builders was the Mississippians. They lived from AD 800 to 1700. They built some of the first cities in North America. In some cities they built flat-top pyramid-shaped temple mounds. By the 1700s, most of the Mississippians died from diseases. They caught the diseases from Europeans. Question 5. Who were the Adena, the Hopewell, and the Mississippians? Okay, class, I hope this read aloud was helpful. Please make sure to write the questions and your answers using the Google Docs. For any questions, please email me, comment on the Google Class page. Thank you.